Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Karen Carpenter. Anne Carpenter was an American singer and drummer. She and her brother Richard Carpenter formed the 1970s duo the Carpenters. Her skills as a drummer earned admiration from drumming luminaries and peers. But she is best known for her vocal performances. She typically sang in a contralto vocal range. Carpenter suffered from the eating disorder anorexia nervosa, which was little known at the time. She died at age 32 from heart failure caused by complications related to her illness. Carpenter's death led to increased visibility and awareness of eating disorders. Early life. Karen Ann Carpenter was born in New Haven, Connecticut, the daughter of Agnes Reua and Harold Bertram Carpenter. Harold had been born in China where his parents were missionaries, and was educated at boarding schools in England, before working in the printing business. When she was young, she enjoyed playing baseball with other children on the street. On the TV program This Is Your Life, she stated that she liked pitching, and later, in the early 1970s, she would become the pitcher on the Carpenters' official softball team. Her brother Richard developed an interest in music at an early age, becoming a piano prodigy. Karen enjoyed dancing and by age 4 was enrolled in tap dancing and ballet classes. The family moved in June 1963 to the Los Angeles suburb of Downey. When Carpenter entered Downey High School, she joined the school band. Bruce Gifford, the conductor, gave her the glockenspiel, an instrument she disliked, and after admiring the performance of her friend Frankie Chavez, she asked if she could play the drums instead. She and her brother made their first recordings in 1965 and 1966. The following year she began dieting. Under a doctor's guidance, she went on the Stillman diet. She rigorously ate lean foods, drank 8 glasses of water a day, and avoided fatty foods. She was 5'4" in height and before dieting weighed and afterwards weighed until 1973, when the Carpenters' career reached its peak. By September 1975, her weight was. Music career. From 1965 to 1968, Karen, her brother Richard, and his college friend Wes Jacobs, a bassist and tuba player, formed the Richard Carpenter Trio. The band played jazz at numerous nightclubs, and also appeared on the TV talent show Your All-American College Show. Karen, Richard, and other musicians, including Gary Sims and John Bettis, also performed as an ensemble known as Spectrum. Spectrum focused on a harmonious and vocal sound, and recorded many demo tapes in the garage studio of friend and bassist Joe Osborne. Many of those tapes were rejected by record companies. According to former Carpenters member John Bettis, those rejections took their toll. The tapes of the original sessions were lost in a fire at Joe Osborne's house, and the surviving versions of those early songs exist only as fragile acetate reference discs. Finally, A&M Records signed the Carpenters to a recording contract in 1969. Karen sang most of the songs on the band's first album, Offering, and her brother wrote 10 out of the album's 13 songs. The issued single, which was a cover of a Beatles song, became their first single. It reached 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. Their next album, 1970's Close to You, featured 2 massive hit singles, Close to You and We've Only Just Begun. They peaked at and, respectively, on the Hot 100. Carpenter started out as both the group's drummer and lead singer, and she originally sang all her vocals from behind the drum set. Because she was just 5 feet 4 inches tall, it was difficult for people in the audience to see her behind her drum kit, so she was eventually persuaded to stand at the microphone to sing the band's hits while another musician played the drums. After the release of Now and Then in 1973, the albums tended to have Carpenter singing more and drumming less. At this time, her brother developed an addiction to quaaludes. The Carpenters frequently cancelled tour dates and they were stopped touring altogether after their September 4, 1978, concert at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. The Carpenters' very first TV special aired December 8, 1976. In 1980, she performed a medley of standards in a duet with Ella Fitzgerald on the Carpenters' television program Music, Music, Music. In 1981, after the release of the Made in America album, the Carpenters returned to the stage and did some tour dates, including a final live performance in Brazil. In addition to being a drummer and a singer, Karen Carpenter could also play the electric bass guitar. She played it on two songs, All of My Life and Eve, on Offering, later retitled Ticket to Ride, the Carpenters' first album, released by A&M. Although Karen's bass playing is heard on the original album, Richard remixed both songs, and Joe Osborne's bass playing was substituted on later, Greatest Hits, releases. Recognition of drumming skills. Carpenter started playing the drums in 1964. She was always enthusiastic about the drums, and taught herself how to play complicated drum lines with exotic time signatures. According to her brother, Carpenter's drumming was praised by fellow drummers Hal Blaine, Cubby O'Brien, and Buddy Rich, and by Modern Drummer magazine. According to her brother, Carpenter always considered herself a drummer who sang. Despite this, she was not often featured as a drummer on the Carpenters' albums. She was, however, the only drummer on the albums Ticket to Ride and Now and Then, and on the songs Mr. Gouda, I'll Never Fall in Love Again, Love is Surrender, Baccarat David Medley, the piano instrumental, Flat Baroque, Happy, Another Song, and Please Mr. Postman. The role of drummer in the Carpenters' entourage was mainly taken over by Hal Blaine, as she went from being behind the drum set to the front of the stage. Karen was known for endorsing Ludwig drums, and she had two setups. She also used a Rogers hi-hat, a Rogers bass drum pedal, Zildjian cymbals, 11A drumsticks, and Remo drum heads. On Made in America, Karen provided percussion on Those Good Old Dreams, in tandem with Paulinho da Costa, and made a final return to playing drums on the song When It's Gone, in unison with Larry London. Thank you for watching, brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.